And we landed in the pit, and I went, did I catch it? I caught it! I caught it! Did they get it? Did they get it on camera? Did the people see it?
We actually have it on camera right here. Take a look.
Super Bowl 51!
Born Stefani Germanotta, you wouldn't recognize her as the world-famous Lady Gaga. But beneath the flamboyant costumes and chart-topping hits was a young girl with a dream so big it wouldn't fit in a conventional classroom. This is the story of how Stefani clawed her way from piano lessons at 4 years old to becoming Lady Gaga, a pop icon who shattered boundaries and redefined what it means to be a star. This is the story of Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta, aka Lady Gaga. Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta, known to the world as Lady Gaga, was born in 1986 in New York City to a loving and hardworking family. Her parents' mother, a business executive, and father, an internet entrepreneur, were determined to provide a good life for Stefani and her younger sister, despite their modest beginnings. They raised their daughters in the bustling neighborhood of Manhattan's Upper West Side. From a young age, Stefani was encouraged to pursue music. At just 4 years old, she started playing the piano, with her mother ensuring she became a cultured young woman. Though she initially found sheet music challenging, Stefani preferred creating music by ear, a talent that would serve her well in the future. Her parents supported her passion by enrolling her in creative arts camp, where she honed her musical skills further. Stefani's school years were marked by dedication and discipline. Despite her hard work and studious nature, she often felt like a misfit, facing teasing for being too provocative or too eccentric. Throughout her teenage years, Stefani showcased her talents at open mic nights and in school plays. She also spent 10 years studying method acting. One of her early on-screen appearances was a small role as a high school student in an episode of The Sopranos. Stefani's natural affinity for music shone through from a very young age. She once shared a charming story about her childhood, recounting how she would prop herself up to reach the piano keys because she was too short. Her early experiences at the piano set the stage for her lifelong dedication to music. At 17, Stefani gained early admission to New York School of the Arts, where she studied music and refined her songwriting skills. However, she soon realized that her true passion lay outside the classroom. After a year and a half, she left the art school to focus entirely on her music career. Despite the challenges and setbacks, Stefani's determination never wavered. Her journey, filled with perseverance and resilience, eventually led her to become the global superstar we now know as Lady Gaga. In 2005, Lady Gaga, still known as Stefani Germanotta, teamed up with hip-hop artist Mel Mel to record a couple of songs for an audiobook accompanying children's novel. Around the same time, she formed a band called the SG Band with friends from NYU. They became well-known in New York's Lower East Side club scene, playing gigs and making a name for themselves. In 2006, after performing at the Songwriters Hall of Fame New Songwriters Showcase at the Cutting Room, Talent Scout introduced Gaga to music producer. They started working together daily, developing her songs and composing new material. Music producer even claimed to be the first to call her Lady Gaga, inspired by Queen's song Radio Gaga. They also briefly dated and established a company called Team Lovechild LLC to promote her career. Together, they recorded and produced electropop tracks and sent them to music industry executives. Gaga's efforts paid off when the head of artists and repertoire at Def Jam Recordings responded positively to her music. With approval from his boss, Gaga was signed to Def Jam. Unfortunately, she was dropped from the label 3 months later and returned home for Christmas. But Gaga didn't give up. She started performing at neo-burlesque shows, which she found liberating. During this time, she met performance artist Lady Starlight, who helped shape her onstage persona. They began performing together at downtown clubs, creating a live performance art piece called Lady Gaga and the Starlight Review, which paid tribute to 1970s variety acts. Their unique show even made it to the Lollapalooza Music Festival. While performing with Starlight, Gaga started blending pop melodies and the glam rock style of David Bowie and Queen into her music. Meanwhile, the music producer continued to develop the songs they had created together, sending them to producer and record executive Vincent Herbert. Herbert signed Gaga to his label. Gaga later credited Herbert as the man who discovered her. With a music publishing deal at Sony ATV, Gaga wrote songs for artists like Britney Spears, New Kids on the Block, Fergie, and the Pussycat Dolls. At Interscope, musician Akon was impressed by her singing abilities when she recorded a reference vocal for one of his tracks. Akon convinced the chairman and CEO of Interscope to form a joint deal, signing Gaga to his own label, Con Live. In late 2007, Gaga met songwriter and producer Red One. They collaborated for a week on her debut album and signed with Cherry Tree Records, an Interscope imprint founded by producer and songwriter Martin Kierszenbaum. Despite securing a record deal, some radio stations found her music too racy and dance-oriented for the mainstream. Gaga confidently replied, "My name is Lady Gaga. I've been on the music scene for years, and I'm telling you, this is what's next." From performing in small clubs to signing major deals, Lady Gaga's journey to stardom was filled with determination, creativity, and a unique flair that set her apart from the rest. By 2008, Lady Gaga had moved to Los Angeles to work closely with her record label on her debut album, The Fame. She also formed her own creative team, The House of Gaga, inspired by Andy Warhol's Factory. When The Fame was released, it quickly topped the charts in multiple countries, including Austria, Canada, Germany, Ireland, Switzerland, and the UK. In the US and Australia, it hit the top 5. The album's first 2 singles, Just Dance and Poker Face, became huge hits, reaching #1 in the US, Australia, Canada, and the UK. Poker Face was particularly successful, becoming the best-selling single of 2009 with 9.8 million copies sold, and setting a record for the longest stay on Billboard's Digital Songs chart. Following the success of her debut, Gaga released more singles from The Fame, including Nothing Else I Can Say, Love Game, and Paparazzi, with Paparazzi reaching #1 in Germany. Remixed versions of these singles, except Nothing Else I Can Say, were released in an album called Hit Mixes. At the Grammy Awards, The Fame won Best Dance Electronica Album and Poker Face won Best Dance Recording. After opening for the Pussycat Dolls on their European and Oceania tour, Gaga launched her own worldwide The Fame Ball tour. During her travels, she wrote 8 new songs for The Fame Monster, a reissue of her debut album. These new tracks were also released as a standalone EP. The lead single, Bad Romance, was released a month before the EP and became a #1 hit in Canada and the UK, and a top 5 hit in the US, Australia, and New Zealand. Telephone, a collaboration with Beyoncé, became Gaga's 4th UK #1 hit. The third single, Alejandro, reached #1 in Finland. The video for Bad Romance became the most watched video on YouTube in 2010, and Gaga was the first artist to surpass 1 billion combined views. At the MTV Video Music Awards, she won 8 awards, including Video of the Year for Bad Romance, making her the most nominated artist in a single year and the first woman to receive 2 nominations for Video of the Year at the same ceremony. The Fame Monster won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album, while Bad Romance won Best Female Pop Vocal Performance and Best Short-Form Music Video. In 2009, Gaga spent a record 150 weeks on the UK singles chart and became the most downloaded female act in the US, earning a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. The Fame and The Fame Monster together sold over 15 million copies worldwide, with the latter being the second best-selling album of 2010. This success led to her second world tour, the Monster Ball Tour, which became the highest-grossing tour for a debut headlining artist, grossing $27.4 million. The tour's performances at Madison Square Garden were filmed for an HBO special. Gaga also performed at notable events such as the Royal Variety Performance, the Grammy Awards, and the Brit Awards. During this time, she ventured into business by collaborating with Monster Cable Products to create Heartbeats by Lady Gaga headphones, and partnering with Polaroid as their creative director to launch a suite of photo capture products. In early 2011, Lady Gaga released Born This Way, the lead single from her album of the same name. The song was an instant hit, selling over 1 million copies within just 5 days and setting a Guinness World Record for the fastest-selling single on iTunes. It debuted at the top of the Billboard Hot 100, marking the 1,000th #1 single in the chart's history. Following this, she released the singles Judas and The Edge of Glory, both of which reached the top 10 in the US and the UK. Unlike her previous music videos, The Edge of Glory showcased Gaga dancing alone on a fire escape, without the usual intricate choreography and backup dancers. Born This Way, the album came out in May 2011 and immediately topped the Billboard 200 chart with first-week sales of 1.1 million copies. It went on to sell 8 million copies worldwide and earned 3 Grammy nominations, including Gaga's 3rd consecutive nomination for Album of the Year. Rolling Stone later included the album in their list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Other singles from the album included You and I and Marry the Night, which also saw significant success. Interestingly, Bloody Mary, a track from the album, experienced a resurgence in popularity and was released as a single in 2022. During the filming of the music video for You and I, Gaga met and started dating actor Taylor Kinney, who played her love interest in the video. In April 2012, Gaga embarked on the Born This Way Ball tour, but it ended a month earlier than planned due to a hip injury that required surgery. Despite the early end and refund costs, the tour grossed $183.9 million globally. In 2011, Gaga also collaborated with Tony Bennett on a jazz version of The Lady is a Tramp, with Elton John on a song for the animated film Romeo and Juliet, and with The Lonely Island and Justin Timberlake on Three-Way: The Golden Rule. She performed at the Sydney Town Hall to promote Born This Way and celebrate former U.S. President Bill Clinton's 65th birthday. In November, she starred in a Thanksgiving television special titled A Very Gaga Thanksgiving, which attracted 5.7 million viewers and led to the release of her 4th EP, A Very Gaga Holiday. Gaga began working on her 3rd studio album, Artpop, in early 2012 during her tour. She designed the album to reflect a night at the club. The album's lead single, Applause, released in August 2013, topped the charts in Hungary and reached the top 5 in the US and the UK. A lyric video for the track Aura was released in October to accompany the film Machete Kills, in which Gaga played an assassin named La Chameleon. The second single, Do What You Want, featured R. Kelly and also topped the charts in Hungary. Artpop was released in November 2013 and received mixed reviews, though it still debuted at the top of the Billboard 200 chart and sold over 2.5 million copies worldwide by mid-2014. Guy was released as the 3rd single in March 2014. In November 2013, Gaga hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live. She followed this with another Thanksgiving Day television special on ABC, Lady Gaga and the Muppets Holiday Spectacular, and performed a special rendition of Do What You Want with Christina Aguilera on The Voice. In March 2014, she had a week-long concert residency at New York's Roseland Ballroom before its closure. She then embarked on the Art Rave, the Artpop Ball Tour, which earned $83 million. During this time, Gaga split from her longtime manager Troy Carter and joined Artist Nation under new management. She made a brief appearance in the film Sin City: A Dame to Kill For and became Versace's Spring-Summer 2014 ambassador. In September 2014, Gaga released a jazz album with Tony Bennett titled Cheek to Cheek. Inspired by her friendship with Bennett and her love for jazz music, the album received positive reviews. It became Gaga's 3rd consecutive #1 album on the Billboard 200 and won a Grammy Award for Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. The duo also embarked on the Cheek to Cheek tour, performing together from December 2014 to August 2015. In February 2015, Lady Gaga got engaged to Taylor Kinney. After her album Artpop received a mixed response, she began to reinvent her image and style. This transformation started with the release of Cheek to Cheek and her acclaimed performance at the Oscars, where she sang a medley from The Sound of Music in tribute to Julie Andrews. This performance was considered one of her best and created a huge buzz on social media. Gaga co-wrote the song Till It Happens to You with Diane Warren for the documentary The Hunting Ground. This song earned them several awards and an Academy Award nomination. Gaga also won Billboard Woman of the Year and the Contemporary Icon Award at the Songwriters Hall of Fame Awards. Gaga had always wanted to be an actress and achieved this dream by starring in American Horror Story Hotel, where she played a mysterious hotel owner. Her performance earned her a Golden Globe for Best Actress. She also appeared in a fashion film for Tom Ford and was a guest editor for V Magazine, receiving the Editor of the Year award. In 2016, Gaga sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl, performed a tribute to David Bowie at the Grammys, and sang Till It Happens to You at the Oscars. She was introduced by Joe Biden and accompanied on stage by survivors of sexual assault. Later that year, she was honored with the Artist Award by the Grammy Museum. Gaga and Taylor Kinney ended their engagement, with Gaga later attributing their breakup to the demands of her career. She returned to American Horror Story in its 6th season, playing a witch. This role influenced her music, leading to the release of her album Joanne, named after her late aunt. The album featured the hit single Perfect Illusion and topped the charts in multiple countries. Another single, Million Reasons, also became a major hit. Gaga's Super Bowl halftime show was a spectacular event, featuring hundreds of lighted drones forming shapes in the sky. The performance was watched by 117.5 million viewers, making it one of the most watched halftime shows ever. It led to a massive surge in song downloads and earned her an Emmy nomination. Gaga also headlined Coachella and released the single The Cure. Her preparation for the Super Bowl and the creation of Joanne were documented in Gaga 5'2", which premiered on Netflix. The film revealed Gaga's struggle with chronic pain due to fibromyalgia, which eventually forced her to cancel the last 10 shows of the Joanne World Tour. Despite this, the tour was a huge success, grossing $95 million from 842,000 tickets sold. In 2018, Lady Gaga joined the March for Our Lives gun control rally in Washington, D.C., and released a cover of Elton John's Your Song for his tribute album. Later that year, she starred as Ally, a struggling singer in Bradley Cooper's musical romantic drama, A Star Is Born. The movie tells the story of Ally's relationship with Jackson Maine, a singer whose career starts to falter as hers begins to soar. The film was a hit with critics, who praised its captivating leads, skilled direction, and touching love story. Cooper approached Gaga for the role after seeing her perform at a cancer research fundraiser. Gaga, a fan of Cooper's work, accepted the role because of its honest depiction of addiction and depression. A Star Is Born premiered at the Venice Film Festival and was released worldwide in October. Gaga's performance wowed critics. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian described the film as outrageously watchable, praising Gaga's ability to balance being an ordinary person and a superstar. Stefani Germanotta of Time magazine highlighted her knockout performance, noting her charisma even without her usual makeup, wigs, and costumes. Gaga won several awards for her role, including the National Board of Review and Critics' Choice Awards for Best Actress, and she was nominated for the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Screen Actors Guild Award, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress. Gaga and Cooper co-wrote and produced most of the songs on the film's soundtrack, insisting on performing them live. The lead single, Shallow, sung by both, was released in September 2018 and topped the charts in several countries, including the US, UK, and Australia. The soundtrack, featuring 34 tracks, including 17 original songs, received glowing reviews. Mark Kennedy of The Washington Post called it a 5-star marvel, and Ben Beaumont Thomas of The Guardian deemed it an instant classic, showcasing Gaga's emotional power. The soundtrack debuted at #1 in the US, making Gaga the first woman with 5 US #1 albums in the 2010s. It also topped the charts in multiple other countries and sold over 6 million copies worldwide by mid-2019. The album won Gaga 4 Grammy Awards, including Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media, and Best Pop Duo Group Performance, and Best Song Written for Visual Media for Shallow. She also won the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Critics' Choice Award, and Satellite Award for Best Original Song for Shallow. Gaga performed the song live at the Grammy Awards and the Academy Awards, where her performance was a highlight. In October, Gaga announced her engagement to talent agent Christian Carino, but they ended their engagement in February 2019. She then signed a concert residency, Lady Gaga Enigma plus jazz and piano, to perform at the MGM Park Theater in Las Vegas. The The residency featured 2 types of shows: Enigma, focusing on Gaga's biggest hits with a theatrical twist, and Jazz and Piano, featuring tracks from the Great American Songbook and stripped-down versions of Gaga's songs. The Enigma show debuted in December 2018, followed by Jazz and Piano in January 2019. In September 2019, Gaga launched her vegan makeup line, House Laboratories, exclusively on Amazon. The line, featuring 40 products including liquid eyeliners, lip glosses, and face mask stickers, quickly became a bestseller on Amazon. In early 2020, Lady Gaga started dating entrepreneur Michael Polanski. That same year, she released her 6th studio album, Chromatica, which received great reviews. It topped charts in the US and several other countries, with hits like Stupid Love and Rain on Me featuring Ariana Grande. The latter won a Grammy. Gaga also won big at the MTV Video Music Awards and appeared in a campaign for Valentino. She made headlines again in 2021, singing the national anthem at President Joe Biden's inauguration. Sadly, her dog walker was shot, and 2 of her French bulldogs were stolen. She offered a large reward for their safe return, and thankfully they were found unharmed soon after. The incident led to arrests later in the year. Gaga continued to stay busy, collaborating with Dom Perignon and releasing remix and collaborative albums. Her album with Tony Bennett, Love for Sale, was well received and won a Grammy. Their performances together, including a special at Radio City Music Hall, delighted fans. Lady Gaga made headlines after appearing on the television special Friends, The Reunion, where she performed Smelly Cat alongside Lisa Kudrow. Following this, she took on a challenging role in Ridley Scott's film House of Gucci. Gaga portrayed Patrizia Reggiani, known for her controversial life and connection to the Gucci fashion empire. To prepare for the role, Gaga immersed herself deeply. She learned to speak with an Italian accent and stayed in character for an extended period, which impacted her mental well-being. The film received mixed reviews, but Gaga's performance was widely acclaimed as note perfect, earning her several award nominations. In addition to her acting, Gaga showcased her musical talents by co-writing the song Hold My Hand for the film Top Gun: Maverick. She also contributed to the film's score alongside renowned composers. Her live performance of Hold My Hand at the Academy Awards garnered praise and nominations. Gaga's musical journey continued with her successful Chromatica Ball Stadium tour, which became one of the highest-grossing tours of the year. She also took on new roles outside of entertainment, such as her appointment to the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities by President Joe Biden. Throughout the year, Gaga's artistic endeavors extended to collaborations with legendary musicians like the Rolling Stones, where she contributed to their album with a track featuring Stevie Wonder. Her career remains a testament to her versatility and ongoing impact in both music and film. Lady Gaga made headlines as the featured artist for the 2nd season of the online video game Fortnite's spin-off festival, running from February to April 2024. She's also set to star alongside Joaquin Phoenix in the upcoming film Joker Folie, Deux, scheduled for release in October 2024. In May 2024, Gaga thrilled fans by announcing her 7th studio album during the Gaga Chromatica Ball event. The announcement included a teaser of new music, hinting at her eagerly awaited return with LG7. Lady Gaga's musical journey has been shaped by a diverse range of influences. Growing up, she immersed herself in the sounds of icons like Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and Queen. These artists sparked her passion for music, blending dance pop beats with the glam rock spirit of David Bowie and Freddie Mercury. Madonna and Michael Jackson inspired her stage presence, while artists like Iron Maiden and Marilyn Manson added a heavier edge to her style. Fashion has also played a pivotal role in Gaga's career, influenced by her mother and icons like Cher and Alexander McQueen. Her bold, avant-garde outfits often make as big a statement as her music. Gaga's admiration for designers like Donatella Versace and her friendship with McQueen highlighted her unique fashion sense, earning her comparisons to style icons past and present. Beyond music and fashion, Gaga draws inspiration from diverse sources. She's spoken about the influence of Indian spiritual leader Deepak Chopra and the teachings of Osho, emphasizing creativity, rebellion, and equality in her work. Gaga's artistry, blending music, fashion, and cultural influences, continues to redefine pop culture, echoing the revolutionary spirit of those who inspired her. Lady Gaga's music career has been defined by constant change and innovation. From her early days, she has blended rock with pop and dance, even exploring jazz and other genres. Gaga, known for her contralto voice, has evolved her vocal style over time, always aiming for emotional depth rather than pure power. Her debut album, The Fame, talked about the allure of fame, while The Fame Monster delved into its darker aspects. Born This Way tackled diverse themes like identity and freedom, while also experimenting with electronic rock. Artpop reflected on fame and media scrutiny, blending R&B, techno, and disco influences. Joanne explored country, funk, and folk genres, influenced by her personal life. In A Star Is Born soundtrack, Gaga embraced blues rock and country elements, delivering heartfelt lyrics about love and change. Chromatica marked a return to dance pop, where Gaga openly discussed her struggles with mental health. Her jazz collaborations with Tony Bennett, like Love for Sale, paid tribute to classic musical styles. Throughout her career, Gaga's music has been both catchy and profound, reflecting her personal growth and artistic experimentation. Lady Gaga's music videos are often compared to short films, featuring frequent costume changes and bold visuals. For instance, her video for Telephone holds the Guinness World Record for most product placement. Author Curtis Vogel notes themes of empowerment and explores feminist themes, emphasizing sex, violence, and power. Gaga herself identifies as a little bit of a feminist, aiming to empower women sexually. Billboard ranked her 6th among the 100 greatest music video artists of all time, recognizing her impact on pop culture. Rolling Stone regards Gaga as one of the greatest living musical performers, highlighting her perfectionism in elaborate shows. Her performances are known for innovation and entertainment, such as her dramatic blood-spurting act during the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. This performance sparked controversy but underscored her boundary-pushing style. Gaga's versatility was further showcased at the 2011 MTV VMAs, where she appeared as her male alter ego, Joe Calderone, delivering a memorable monologue. Over the years, Gaga's music videos have evolved, reflecting a more stripped-down approach post-Artpop. Her video for Perfect Illusion from the Joanne era marked a departure from elaborate costumes, opting instead for a simpler style. This transition continued with her performances in films and on stage, demonstrating her ability to blend authenticity with her trademark eccentricity. Lady Gaga is known for her music, unique fashion sense, and larger-than-life persona, which have sparked both admiration and debate. Her influence is so profound that it inspired a university course on her fame. At a fundraiser, even President Barack Obama found her towering presence in 16-inch heels intimidating. In interviews, Gaga has dismissed rumors about her identity, embracing androgyny instead. Her daring fashion choices are a hallmark of her style. She's been compared to Christina Aguilera and even holds a Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of her impersonators. Gaga's outfits, including her infamous meat dress at the MTV Video Music Awards, often make headlines and stir controversy. Despite criticism, her outfits are celebrated as works of art, landing her on numerous best-dressed lists. Gaga's fans, affectionately called Little Monsters, adore her. She coined the term and even tattooed it on herself as a tribute to their support. Beyond music and fashion, Gaga's influence extends to online fandom culture, inspiring platforms like littlemonsters.com, where she connects closely with her fans. Her impact on fashion and pop culture is undeniable, making her a celebrated icon and a trendsetter in her own right. In 2011, Lady Gaga's song Born This Way, which celebrates diversity, faced censorship by Malaysian broadcasters worried about government restrictions. The Ministry of Culture in China also took issue with some of Gaga's songs, limiting their availability online due to content concerns. Her album Artpop saw similar scrutiny in China, where adjustments were made to the album cover and song titles. In 2016, a meeting between Gaga and the Dalai Lama led to her being labeled as a hostile influence by the Chinese government. This resulted in bans on her music and media condemnation. In subsequent years, her appearances and mentions faced restrictions on Chinese platforms, sparking criticism from her fans. Lady Gaga has shown her compassionate side through various acts of kindness over the years. When disasters struck, she didn't hesitate to help. After the Haiti earthquake in 2010, instead of appearing on a song for charity, she donated concert proceeds and store profits to help rebuild the country. Following Japan's tsunami, she designed bracelets whose sales raised $1.5 million for relief efforts. She's also been active in environmental causes, joining campaigns against fracking and receiving awards for her peace efforts. Gaga's generosity extended to Hurricane Sandy victims with a $1 million donation to the American Red Cross. Her work with MAC Cosmetics raised over $202 million for HIV and AIDS research. Gaga's commitment to social causes continued as she supported initiatives like the It's On Us campaign and hosted a benefit concert during the COVID-19 pandemic that raised $127 million. Her efforts were recognized with awards for her contributions to racial equality and social justice. Lady Gaga, a popular singer, has been a strong supporter of LGBT rights throughout her career. She credits much of her early success to her gay fans and is seen as an icon in the community. In her early days, when mainstream radio didn't give her much airplay, Gaga found support from the gay community, which she has always appreciated. She even thanked Fly Life, an LGBT marketing company, in the notes of her album, The Fame. Gaga has been actively involved in various LGBT events and movements. She spoke at the National Equality March in Washington, D.C. in 2009 and attended the MTV Video Music Awards with openly gay and lesbian former members of the military in 2010, supporting their right to serve openly. She used her platform to urge fans to help overturn discriminatory policies and has been recognized as a strong advocate for LGBT rights. In 2011, Gaga spoke out against the lack of gay rights in some European countries and called gay people revolutionaries of love. She has also been involved in efforts against anti-gay bullying, meeting with political leaders and speaking out publicly to address these issues. During a vigil in Los Angeles after the Pulse nightclub attack in 2016, Gaga paid tribute to the victims and has continued to support the LGBT community through her activism. She has spoken against discriminatory policies and supported campaigns to protect transgender rights. Gaga's advocacy extends to her personal life as well. She officiated the wedding of 2 female friends and has used her fame to promote inclusivity and acceptance within Christianity, critiquing those who use religion to discriminate against LGBT people. In 2019, she celebrated the LGBTQ+ community's achievements at World Pride NYC, marking the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, a pivotal moment in the gay rights movement. Gaga continues to be a vocal supporter of equality and justice for all. Lady Gaga, often hailed as the Queen of Pop, has made a significant impact on music and culture. Known for her bold style and innovative approach, she's not just a singer, but a trailblazer in using controversy to highlight social issues. For instance, her infamous meat dress protested against discriminatory military policies. Gaga's debut album, The Fame, catapulted her to fame in the late 2000s, credited with popularizing synth pop. She's been praised for constantly reinventing herself, treating her celebrity as an evolving art project. Albums like Born This Way have been celebrated for their influence and cultural impact, especially within the LGBTQ+ community. Her catchy hits like Bad Romance and Poker Face have topped charts and earned her acclaim for their addictive melodies. Beyond music, Gaga's influence extends to other artists and even the scientific community, with new fern species and even a parasitic wasp named after her. In recognition of her cultural impact, cities like Taichung and West Hollywood have dedicated special days to honor her visits and her contributions to music and social advocacy. Lady Gaga has achieved an incredible array of accolades throughout her career. She's won 13 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, 2 Golden Globes, and more. Gaga made history in 2019 by becoming the first woman to win an Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, and Grammy in 1 year for her work on A Star Is Born. She's been recognized by Billboard as the greatest pop star in 2009 and named Woman of the Year in 2015. Her impact extends beyond music. She's also honored in fashion, receiving the Fashion Icon Award from the Council of Fashion Designers of America. Gaga's albums have topped charts and broken records, with the Fame holding the record for most weeks at #1 on the Dance Electronic Albums chart. She's sold over 170 million records globally and grossed more than $689.5 million from her tours and residencies. Beyond her musical achievements, Gaga has been a cultural force, topping Forbes' Celebrity 100 list and being named one of the most influential people by Time magazine. Her influence on social media was profound, with Guinness World Records noting her as the most followed person on Twitter for several years. Financially, Gaga's success is notable, with Forbes estimating her net worth and placing her on lists of top-earning musicians and celebrities under 30. Her impact on music, fashion, and culture continues to resonate, making her one of the most iconic artists of her generation.